Hello, folks, and welcome back to game number 3, the exciting matchup. We got Universal Basic Income going up against SLR, and I think this is going to be an absolute banger of a match, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. I do believe there was something kind of crazy that happened a few minutes ago. Raptor, would you be able to fill us in on that? I think it was involving like someone forfeited and something happened.
Yeah, so after the last game, there was going to be a tiebreaker between Eek and BBZ for 5th and 6th place. BBZ has decided to FF and just give 5th place over to Eek.
I believe it was mostly due to a scheduling conflict, but I have a feeling it was also because somebody was afraid of playing another team.
Yeah, I understand. No one wants to play Fat Pikachu. They're all scared.
They're all terrified of it. It's like it's the scariest thing in existence, which I kind of get. It is the OG Pikachu. Kind of makes sense. We do have a ban penalty on SLR, it looks like.
Yes, we do have a ban penalty. They
can't remember what exactly the reason was, but either way, that's gonna hopefully not affect them too much going into this game. With YUBI kind of picking up the Seraphine as their first choice. I honestly hate this champ. I have said this multiple times. I will continue to say it over and over and over. I feel like it's stupidly good. It's way too useful in way too many different roles and is just really powerful in the right hands. So probably putting that on Civilock because we know that is not a Brian Singh kind of choice.
Yeah, that's a team support pick, so it's got to go to Civilock. He is the eternal support of the team.
It's not engaging enough. Brian Singh won't touch it.
Yeah.
It's like he's like, there's no go button. How do I use this champion? I don't understand.
Go button is a little bit different on Seraphine, but you know there is a Jinx for Luru, so get some fun. There's a Janna too, so nothing but look at this, nothing but. Oh, okay, they changed. I was saying it's nothing but Zon and Piltover champions, but nah, they broke it.
Now, yeah, picking up the Sejuani does break the Zon Piltover thematics because, and you know, honestly, a lot of people forget that Janna is the guardian spirit of Zon, which is kind of weird that people have forgotten that, but that is true.
I mean, when she's not mentioned in almost any other lore, like it makes sense.
Yeah, that is a champion that Riot would need you to do a lore update. Just put her in Arcane Season 2, please. Just a little bit of references would be nice. Then we have the Trundle pickup. So at least we've got a Zon Piltover Freljord fight going on. We're sticking to that at least. So we got a little bit of theming going on.
Could be a Runeterra style with a deck, you know.
I do like the Fang over Fang pickup for Trundle. We have seen him pilot that champion, and it's a great choice into Sejuani, just regardless, because you're able to steal so much of her stats. So basically put her in a negative situation if you steal, if you use that Subjugate before her passive goes away, then basically when she goes into her her passive disappears, it's negative stats for her.
Oh yeah, it is pretty rough. So you've got to be careful with the Sejuani. I'm guessing it's going to be utility monster. I don't think it doesn't seem like a red kind of champion. I don't really think of red and I think of Sejuani.
No, it's definitely going to utility monster because it's a utility champ.
No, that's true. They live up to their names so well. It's fun. You can always predict, even when crazy picks me up, like I know kind of who that champion's going to. The YUBI. It's nice. They're consistent.
Yeah, and you know what's really funny is if YUBI wins this, they will tie it up with SLR for a dead even heat. It'll be 11-3, 11-3 scoreboard-wise, so that's kind of probably something SLR wants to completely avoid, but you know YUBI's got to be like, look, we'll settle for first bests, like we'll share that, but we won't share second best.
Yeah. I mean, either way for YUBI, it's like they have to play a tiebreaker. It's either TD or SLR. That's really what's up in the air here. If it's SLR, I like to call it the salty run back. It's the bracket reset. Like, you know, in a fighting game, when you beat the champion, if you come to the lower bracket, then you have to reset it and play him again.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, based on the bans, it kind of looks like SLR is expecting the Sejuani to go to the top lane because we do have the Nocturne ban right there to make sure Utility Monster isn't able to pick that. That could also just be a mispick, kind of like a bad choice, because we do see the Mordekaiser getting locked in right there and the Renekton being locked in as well.
Oh, no.
Ooh, That's interesting. Now the question is it gonna be the Renekton Seraphine, or it's gonna be the Seraphine Blitzcrank bot lane for sure? But
Yeah.
where is the Renekton and the gonna go? I think like.
I
Wait,
think that's
no.
Renekton mid.
So we're seeing Civillock on a carry.
If we see Civillock on a carry, I will be shocked.
You know, it could be. I could theoretically see a Renekton going into the bot lane with Blitzcrank. Or we could be, you know what? Here's an off the ball crazy thing that might happen. You got Mordekaiser top, Seraphine mid, Blitzcrank jungle, Renekton Sejuani bot lane.
That would be I mean, I've actually seen that bot lane before. It is a kill lane. It is pretty brutal.
I have said I've wanted to see it for a long time. I've been talking about it for like 2 seasons, how much fun it is.
And I've heard Blitzcrank jungle is actually pretty good right now.
It is. If we get that comp, I will cry tears of joy, and I will dump all of my channel points onto UB Versal Basic Income.
Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Moment of.
Oh, the spice wasn't there, but we're gonna see the level 1 invade at least.
Yeah, and it is gonna be Civillock on the Renekton. The invade is in. Here we go.
There we go. Huge engage. Absolutely massive. I'm still thinking that this is gonna go for SLR. That is gonna be absolutely crazy. Or for UB, like that's gonna be absolutely crazy. They've got a huge amount of stuff going on right there. This is gonna be absolutely devastating. We already got 2 kills on the board. Man, that's nuts.
All right. Well, UB's up 2-0. They're in this. This isn't normal UB. You don't usually see them go up 2-0. This is uncharted territory.
This is uncharted territory. Talk about crazy. So I do want to point out that we've got a little bit of a portrait issue going on with Fang over Fang being dropped lower than the Jinx, but that's fine. We can live with that. Nothing too crazy there. We are going to see a top up clear for both of these junglers. Both of them probably going to be looking to make some plays around the top side. It'll be just interesting to see how this game ends up scaling out into the late game, because you've got Jinx and you've got Corki, who are going to be really, really powerful once they get those ornaments. And then you've got Seraphine and you've got Renekton, who are both going to be doing a lot of damage very quickly and a lot of CC.
Yeah, Yubi is just playing for trying to get the quick win. That's why they had to do that early invade. Red doing so much onto Anti already, but
Brian saying missing the hook does mean Jeff God's going to pay for it by taking a lot of damage, but in the meantime, Anti is going to be going in way too hard on this Red, having to flash away to stay alive. That is a good use of abilities. Red did flash earlier, so they weren't able to continue that to get the kill. But I do like the way this game is already shaping up. UB looking for those hard engages, looking for those early kills.
Yeah, that's a good look. Like this. I mean, this is what they've got to do. If you want to play this kind of comp with a Renekton, with a Mordekaiser, Sejuani, like this comp, you need to get ahead early. Renekton needs to dominate this game. Seraphine and Mordekaiser will become late game powerhouses, but you really don't have a mid game. You have early game and late game. Everything in between is hell. So you need to get ahead as early as you can. And
Civillock able to jump in, get the stun off, causing Flash to be forced out on the Pure Llama. And there you go. That's the combination. That's what you want to see. You got the huge amount of damage coming out from Utility Monster. Not able to get the frozen stack right there. They are not able to get the damage off. Then we got a brittle Red trying to go in onto Anti. Anti doesn't have Flash. He's not able to get away this time. So this is going to be a neck-and-neck fight. And it barely goes over to Anti. Just enough damage. Oh, you hate it when that happens.
I thought he had Q, but Red apparently did not, and pays for it with his life. Thought the ticks would come through to save him, but the minion damage also adding just a little too much. UB, I mean, BBZ, I'm sorry.
We are seeing the hard engage by Utility Monster try and finish this off, and that is going to be a kill, a revenge kill, using that TP to come back to lane quickly. So that is going to be well done. I do know that there were some folks who were pointing it out, that there was no Glacial on this Janna, which is going to be interesting, because I know that for Janna, she likes having that for most other summoner or other runes. I don't dislike Guardian. I just feel like it's not necessarily going to be the best choice. Fang, though. Huge damage going in on the utility monster. We are going to get a nice dash out, so they will survive. Ooh, the hook is going to catch the Janna. Janna's going to get ruined in place. Tef is going to get burned down. That is a Janna gone. So unfortunately, Luru is going to have to walk away from this lane, and that is going to be some free CS for the Jeff God Gamer.
Yeah, kills going abound here for YUBI. That was a very good pick. Brian is just a terror on hooks. Top lane, though, red anti at it again.
You know, that's going to be a back and forth fight. I feel like this game is just going to be like last game where it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath everywhere.
I agree. I think it's just going to be fight after fight. I mean, that's YUBI's bread and butter, is thriving in statistical chaos. They pick statistically what's best and then go complete chaos with it.
Yep. All right. Good hook. Good knockup coming out from Anti, playing their cooldowns well, able to take down Red just as much as they lose. So that's going to be a good advantage for them. We are seeing Red continue this fight. They're kind of chasing this down. Neither side has flash yet. Red will have it up first. We do see the unstoppable Anti able to get not able to get away, because we do see Red holding the claw to the last second. Very well done. The mace comes down on the back of the head, and that is going to be another kill for the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, the ram does not stop the claw. Only the bellows do. Anti goes down to Red. This Mordekaiser is 3-1, getting ahead early. That's not what you want to see if you're on the side of SLR.
And we've already got a roam up by Tef, looking to try and do something here in this mid lane, but they do not have the Glacial to cause Civillock to get slowed down if they get hit by that tornado. So unfortunately, that's just going to be them disengaging. They did see the tornado come over, but they don't actually see what happens. Utility Monster losing some of the minions to the Pure Llama. They do manage to pick up a couple of them. But they're going to get kind of caught between Brian, Sang, Civillock, and a hard play. So there we go, right there. The rocks are going to come out. Pure Llama doing a lot of damage, and we see Blitz just waiting for them to flash over the wall. Very well rotated by YUBI to kind of be like, look, if you're going to be overly zealous, you got to be ready for us to roam up on you.
Yeah, you've got to be wary of it. YUBI up 2K right now against SLR, and looking very solid this game. You know, this season we really haven't seen like YUBI like early game dominance. I know that they used to have it a little bit more like in seasons past, but they've been very reliant on a lot of comebacks this season. So seeing them ahead, it's really nice. It's showing some solid coordination, especially on a comp that's as hard to execute as this one is. So it's good. You know, it's exciting to see.
It is very exciting to see Red, in the meantime, pretending to be AFK, just sitting here in this lane as we see Anti just getting a nice bit of knock-up, nice bit of damage off onto them. But however, they're not going to be unstoppable. But that's okay if you sidestep the pulls.
Yeah. Gotta dash around those claws. You know, this is just turning into a little slugfest up here.
Little bit of a crazy slugfest. Things are going off kind of nuts. We got the hook going out. It does find the Jinx. Jinx is going to get slowed, knocked around, taking damage. We got the high note hitting them, but Jeff God Gamer's not quite able to pick up a kill. But that is okay in this situation because you are burning away a lot of that health bar. So now that the gank has started, Blueru's got to be very careful. Make sure they position right. Fang is like, wait, this was a bad idea. I should not have got in. I have made a mistake. They get rooted. They get frozen. They get blasted. And that is going to be another kill over for the side of Universal Basic Income. And in the meantime, we got a fight going on here in the top lane. Flash coming out from Red, trying to chase down Anti. Anti going to be able to dash, but not get away. And they're going to have to flash away to stay alive. Barely hanging on by the skin of their teeth. And that is going to be the Dragon Stolen. Hey, Jinx. We see Luru picking that up.
Luru with the clutch steal, the Jinx rocket ult, the dream of AD carries.
That was beautifully done because Smite was on cooldown and not available.
Oh, that is
I did early on that one. That is a rough one.
That is an absolute rough one, but good for SLR finding victory, a little victory from the jaws of defeat, as they are losing fights across the map right now. The gank attempt was looking good, but YUBI sniffed out. Now there's another one on top.
Tide misses the knockup, and that's a lot of damage getting brought out, but we don't have a Death Realm available, so that means that Trundle is going to come in, Fang over Fang, sinking his teeth into Mordekaiser, managing to pick that up. Oh, that was a beautiful counter game.
It doesn't work bottom, so let's try top instead. Oh, SLR. Yeah, finds a kill, manages to make a play on the top side, relieves them this pressure on Anti, but he is still down. This Mordekaiser is still pretty massive.
Mordekaiser is very massive, but look at this. I already love the fact that this blue buff is getting stolen away by Fang. He just manages to take it from utility while he was down taking the wolves, not aware that he had a troll in his jungle. In the meantime, Civillock doing a decent job on this Renekton. It's not quite as far ahead as you would want to see this champ, especially against a Corki as this game progresses. But, you know, could end up working out. It's going to be a little bit risky.
Yeah, gonna be a little risky, but it could pay off. No dragon up right now. There is the Herald. Neither one's really put a lot of pressure on it. Neither jungler really really giving it much of a glance.
Because neither jungle's a Bel'Veth.
That's true. That's true.
Oh.
I know. I always like to prioritize Herald. I like getting the play, especially pre 14 minutes is the best time to. You can at least get something. Ooh.
And look at this. This is what you got to be afraid of if you're red. If you don't have the vision to be aware that you got to run, then you're going to unfortunately... Oh, the Death Realm to dodge the burn and the knock-up coming out from Anti. That is going to be them chasing him under the tower. They are going to be able to heal him, pick up the kill, pick up the stats. That is going to be huge. And you have the rotation coming out from YUBI to continue this and protect them from the Trundle. Very well done. Great macro play out of the Universal Basic Income. They just know how to make sure that each of their members is well supplied with what they need.
Yeah, they know Fang's going to come. Oh, okay. Rocket doesn't get any steals. That wasn't even close. But yeah, that little bit of worry. You never know. But yeah, this time Red figuring, hey, you know, I've already dragged Fang up, pushing this far up once. Let's try it again, but with an ultimate this time. They managed to pick up the kill. They managed to get the flash out of Fang too. And just a good.
Now you've got Jeff under that tower taking a lot of damage, and Pure Llama is here to continue this engage as well. Jeff knows something is up. He's got the gut feeling. You can tell just by the way he's hovering around his tower, trying to stay safe. He's not sure what's going on. We got the Corki coming out. He is going to try and find the engage. Unfortunately, Jeff is just using so much to try and stay alive. Doesn't manage to find the target, though, with this charm. You do see Brian Sang trying to come back and be like, hey, you took my ADC. I want to get at least something out of it. Not going to be able to. Oh, if that charm had hit, it could have been so bad. It could have gone the wrong way. But unfortunately, we do see some good counterplay coming out from SLR. Not ready to give this game up yet.
Yeah, they're keeping in the fight. Despite being down 2,000 gold, they still look for the play. They're being proactive. Civillock, though,
Civillock gets subjugated. Does see Anti go for the dash. Not able to get away, though. The Jinx Rocket's not going to find a target. The flash is going to come out. Very well done as we see the slippery alligator manage to get away.
Yeah, the alligator's natural environment is the river. He dashes in, quickly swims the other side, and flashes out. Good play coming out.
And that roam is going to cost Anti a plate to put more gold on this Mordekaiser, while Corki's going to pick one up in the mid lane.
Yeah, he's up about 2,500 gold now, so this is getting into a pretty, there's 2,500 gold for YUBI as a whole, but I think most of it is on the Mordekaiser, red over Anti, so that's just going to make this lane that much more difficult for the Ornn. And if Mordekaiser can get out and go to other lanes, start helping set up fight, ooh, yeah, almost got grabbed there.
Oh, got the root coming out right there, though. Oh, Jeff's taking a zap shot to the face.
As I was saying, yeah, red is starting to dominate this lane.
Ooh, dominate it. He is. We see Anti hit most of their abilities, but red just kind of throws back and is able to do so much damage to their health bar.
Yeah, this Mordekaiser, he's got the Riftmaker. That's one of the first power spikes Mordekaiser gets. It's only gonna get worse from here for Ornn. He's really just gotta try to stem the bleeding a bit. Oh!
Trying to take the ward, ends up gonna be paying for it with a lot of damage to their health bar. They did flash away in order to stay alive. We see another rocket going out, but unfortunately not timing it just right. The dragon this time is gonna go low. We do see a smite come down at the right time this time. And what we've got right here, red trying to just chunk away what's left of Anti's health bar under that tower. Not gonna be able to find the target. Brian saying, looking for something. I think he is going to get slowed, is going to get smited, is going to get rocketed by the Corki. But in the meantime, we got Fang over Fang just overextending, walking right into Sejuani, and he's going to get burst down, frozen, and locked in place. The bowl is going to get thrown out at Pure Llama. Not going to find its target, but Civilux like, that's okay. I can go in and get a stun off, and I'll take 2 tower shots and still survive. But that is going to mean Pure Llama is going to be looking for that. He wants to go in. He wants the engage. He doesn't have package, though, to extend the range of his W, though, so he's not going to be able to find it.
Yeah, and I think he's just a little worried if he goes in, it's a bait, and they'll just flip around and grab him. Brian looking for a play. Don't think he's going to find it.
They're trying to find their targets. They're trying to find the engages. We do see Pure Llama do get pulled in, but not knocked under tower. We got the Seraphine Charm thrown out. It goes through multiple members. Tef is going to be the one who's caught right there. Civilok is brought so low, but they're going to be able to survive. The healing comes out. The Triumph does so much, but oh no, they're going to be under tower. Jinx Rocket finding the kill is going to take down the Blitzcrank and not the Renekton, unfortunately, but the utility monster is trying to get the engage, not able to take down Luru. But Luru has been on points with these super mega death rockets. Like, they have known every time where to fire it and find their targets, even if it hasn't resulted in the objective that they wanted.
Yeah, now there might Jeff having solo.
Jeff doing, he might be. He's got the double stack ready. He's going to get the root, is going to be able to get that out. The Subjugate is doing a lot, but not quite enough. Fang is brought super low.
Yeah, that was close. I thought he might be able to get it, but once he got stunned, it just kind of got ripped apart. Really doesn't have any MR right now. So Leandri's kind of start burning pretty quickly as we do see Jeff get some pressure.
Not quite able to hit them with the mace. He was just on the edge of it.
Yeah. And this is actually literally the perfect Dragon Soul for UB. They want the Moundrick. They want to become beefy. They just want to become a ball that's just charging at the side of SLR. I mean, Feng can steal the stats from Sejuani, but he can't steal the stats from all 3 of those tanks. And with Seraphine right behind them, they can just drag SLR into fights. Corki might be able to escape, but the rest of them are just going to get pulled in. And they've got to try to kind of... it's weird, but SLR needs to team fight, but scatter the team fight a bit. They need to keep some of UB away.
Finding the perfect opportunity to engage in onto this Ornn, as Ornn went in a little bit too spicy and too hard. They are going to throw it out, and they are going to get the call of the Forge God, but it's not going to find the target it needs to. Utility Monster tanking the tower up to the last possible second. Oh, that was a beautifully played game by UB. Tef is alone, but I feel like they're going to be kind of okay until this tower falls, and that's when they're going to die. In the meantime, Civilok is going to be chasing down this Corki. Good choice not to continue the engage. Luru just managed to come in and hit Red enough, but Red's going to take down the tower. Red is going to pick up some good stats from Jinx. Does kind of hang out knowing they won't be able to get away. I think they were waiting for the W to come off cooldown, but unfortunately it's not going to be there for him.
Yeah, he knew he was going to die.
Continuing right here in this jungle as we see Fang chasing down Jeff. Are they going to be able to catch them? I think they will. We got the smite coming out, got the flash as well. Jeff is going to get caught fairly hard. We got the double charm. It is going to actually do a lot in order to keep that going, but we got the huge knockup coming out from the side of Anti, but it's not going to be enough as unfortunately Fang does go down. They do pick up Jeff and they are going to be able to get that kill, but we're going to lose Anti in the process, which means that this mid tower is going to fall. And that is going to be really, really good for the side of Universal Basic Income as they continue to push to this game, continue to just kind of crack this turret wide open. It's getting to be in kind of a scary spot, but if you notice, Jinx and Corki are not in those fights.
Yeah, they're not in them. I mean, they do manage to contribute. Luru does manage to pick up the kill onto Jeff God, but yeah, if the AD carries aren't there, if they're not being able to contribute DPS to these fights, it's very hard for any part of SLR to deal with UB. They're just a walking ball of stats, just rolling through, stunning and just popping anyone in the, like kind of mowing over anyone in their path. I feel like SLR, they need to group up and they need to start team fighting because they're just bleeding out gold. They're down 5,000 gold right now, 18 minutes into this game. And ooh, they might go down a little bit more.
Civilok's going to get knocked up and cut off by the Corki. They are going to try and go in on the side. They've got a huge amount of healing, but it's not going to be enough. Pure Llama does manage to pick up that kill. But we do see here a fight in this mid lane as Luru gets caught out by a Blitzcrank hook. That's basically death, but they are able to get over the wall. Fantastically done, dropping the heal. Luru is alive thanks to the Janna, able to protect the Zaunite ally of hers, her follower, I guess you could say in some ways. But Fang right now is getting chased down by Brian, saying we got a good amount of split coming out from the side of UBs. They're able to cause split decision making. Same thing's happening in the bot lane. As we can see, the Sejuani was just kind of caught, couldn't catch up to the Corki, couldn't go in on the other target, so they ended up getting caught out. Nice smite coming out from the side of Fang over Fang in order to keep themselves alive, keep themselves a little bit more healthy. They are going to get brought into the Death Realm though, and as the burn comes out, Red is not able to kill him quickly enough, so that means that he's not going to have those extra stats now. The fight is continuing as Jinx is just on the back peppering with these rockets alongside Corki, and that is going to be huge as we see Ornn fall. Red managing to pick them off one by one. Claw manages to find Llama. Llama's going to be cut out and burned away. That is just a huge problem for SLR as they were not able to pick that fight up.
Yeah, they take the 3v5. It looks like they have the numbers advantage, but they're slow to react once Red has ulted Fang. They can try to push the issue on Jeff and Brian, and as a result they lose Fang when Red comes out, and then that's when they go, okay, we need to kill Jeff, we need to kill Brian, we just tear them apart real quick and then we'll go kill Mordekaiser, and they just leave Lure just get beat down by Red, allow him to go down. And I mean, they take Jeff down, but once Lure is dead, like Corki can kind of kite, but he still has to get a little bit closer into range. He has to stop and turn. Mordekaiser can run him down, and especially without the packages left, and it just turns into a rout. UB gets the dragon, they get the kills, they get the fight, and now they're up 6,000 gold now and looking pretty in a commanding lead this game.
They are, but there's something you need to take into account. They have lost a tower.
Oh, you're right.
UB has lost a tower, which means that they do bleed, which means that they can be defeated. So if you're a betting man, I think the statistics show that UB loses more games when they lose a tower than they win.
I mean, yeah, statistically, yeah.
No, it's because they have I think the highest statistics of winning games without losing a single tower.
Yeah.
Like it's an earlier UB stat, so it's a scary thing to see. It's like kind of one of those things. Anytime UB loses a tower, I think they're more vulnerable, so they might lose this game. But either way, we're seeing great vision control coming out from both these teams, and I think that that's playing a huge factor in some of these fights.
I agree, and also it's just like how big the bruisers are on the side of UB, especially Red. Like he gets his shield, he gets the Seraphine shield, and he just kind of like has like a doubled health bar in fights. So it's become pretty difficult to deal with him. He's got that massive slow from the Rylez, and it's a position I do not envy them being. It's like, how do you deal with the Mordekaiser? How do you deal with this guy who's just ripping through your team anytime they try to fight him? Like, look at that damage to Anti.
And how little damage is done to Red. Yep, it's kind of disgusting, kind of gross, and we are seeing Anti doing a good job just kind of forcing the issue with Mordekaiser in the top lane, not letting him take the tower freely. But they are having a little bit of a back and forth conversation. We do see Red now rotating towards this mid lane. Utility Monster kind of getting caught out by the Blast Cone, using it to... I think they wanted to go the other way over the wall. Still works out.
Yeah, it works. Ooh, Brian almost catches.
Brian hits that hook.
Yeah, that could have been a very deadly. That could have been the end of this game. Still looking like it.
No,
like it could be
poor
soon.
Corki's gonna get boloed. That's gonna throw him out. It's not gonna find the target, so that's just gonna be a slow. But that does mean we're gonna see huge pressure just shoved in onto this bot turret. You can see they're basically trying to force the issue here, trying to get a fight to start, but not able to do it. Brian Singh does the flash hook, does not find it. And you know that Corki was probably like, ah!
Saw his little Corki life flash before his eyes. Yeah, I mean, that's hard for the one downside for UB and the saving grace for SLR. It's very hard to push for UB. They don't have any range. They have to get close. Oh, but a top fight breaking out.
They're forcing the fight. Fang does try to slow down Sejuani. We got the Ornn called being thrown out. As Jeff God does throw the charm, so it does kind of negate the whole knockup. Huge amounts of damage coming out, though, as we see massive abilities being dropped by Utility Monster. Utility tanking the tower, letting Red do his thing, taking the Ornn down. Tef is the only one alive. That's going to be a quadra kill over to the Mordekaiser. Unfortunately, the Penta was stolen, and that is going to be devastating, as now we see a massive push here. This bot turret's going to fall. We might even see an inhibitor because those death timers are just long enough. Very, very well played by Universal Basic Income.
Yeah, big fight coming up huge. They thought, the SLR thought that they had caught YUBI, but 3 people eat Jeff God's ult, and Red goes over the wall. They don't see the Mordekaiser kind of flanking on the side and just tears into Luru, tears into the llama, brings up such a big fight win for YUBI, and they're up 10k gold. They're probably going to get this dragon, put themselves on soul point, and they're, oh, actually the back's getting stopped. SLR's on the chase.
They are being chased away. I do feel like this is a desperation play, though, coming out from the side of SLR. They're kind of walking into a very bad position. I don't know if they realize they're about to get themselves pincered. We do see Civilock we do see that Mordekaiser
Red
was able to back, so they're not here anymore.
Yeah, Red does have Demonic Embrace now. Doesn't have
TP though, so this dragon's gonna be up before he gets there.
Yeah, I don't know if they know he's not there though. Oh, Anti goes in.
Anti's looking for the engage. Call of the Forge God has come out again. Knockup's going to be thrown out. It's only going to find Civilock. Civilock's going to pop the ultimate to stay alive. Then we're going to see the Corki dropping down a package. Massive damage. Huge, as that's going to be able to Pure Lava pick up the Civilock right there. Rocket's coming out from Pure Lava, but look at this. We got Red on the back line looking for that flank. They're taking so much damage, though, as they kind of walked into the wrong spot. But look, they're in the death realm, taking on Fang over Fang, trying to take the Trundle out of the equation. Jeff God doing what they can, throwing out the Seraphine high notes. Knockup from Anti is going to be a huge amount of CC that will cause a great disengage. Anti's getting pulled under the tower by Brian Singh, but those towers don't do much to you, especially if they're tier 1. Got the reset coming out on Luru. Luru is getting excited, trying to find Brian Singh, not able to do it. The rocket getting blocked by the Seraphine, and that is going to be a devastating call, as YUBI was not, just kind of took a fight they really had no business taking.
Yeah, YUBI gets just annihilated in the fight. The SLR finally gets back into this game. They pick off Jeff God near the very beginning. Red not anywhere nearby, should not have even tried to start that fight, should have immediately retreated. But the flank from Llama catches them, catches Jeff God, then they catch Utility Monster. And once that's done, it doesn't matter that Red's there. It doesn't matter how much damage he does. You can't, like, you can't turn the fight that late when everyone else is gone and the rest, your 2 remaining allies are just too low.
I love this call.
Ooh, smart call.
This is a very smart call. They lost the dragon, but everybody on the side of SLR is too low health, and they have no vision of it. So this is a great Baron sneak, and it will be on 5 members as everybody is back up. And there's not a lot the members of SLR can do, even if they were aware of it.
Yeah, they at least get the dragon. So, managing to keep both of YUBI from getting both objectives, and YUBI's going for this red buff.
They're going for it, and Fang is aware that it's there. He's looking for. He drops the smite from Sejuani. He does manage to take the red buff. Got the look at this, a huge mispositioning coming out from the side of SLR.
Yeah, they gotta be careful. The Ornn isn't here yet. He could teleport, but he needs to back first, get some items.
Power of the Mordekaiser taking this top lane turret. They're sending 2 members to deal with him. Unfortunately, the cannon minion siege is going to be enough to take the turret down, while the rest of the members of YUBI move in on this bot side. Civilock dashing into the Call of the Forge God, kind of trying to push it away on their own. They're going to get stuck, though. So many slows on the side of SLR do manage to stop them, but look at this. They had to send down multiple members to prevent the Mordekaiser push. So Mordekaiser just kind of got a little bit of a free range push right there for themselves. They are going to get knocked up, but the Glacial's not available. We do have the Subjugate getting dropped, and Red is going to be brought super low. Unfortunately, the ultimate's not going to be available for them to stay alive, as they got CC'd out of it.
Yeah, but they're going to lose.
But look at this, the mid turret's going to fall. That's just 1 Baron buff. That's 2 Baron buffs down for the side of YUBI. Are they going to be able to catch him? I'm waiting for the pillar. There's the pillar. It catches Jeff. Jeff has to flash to try and get out of it. He is going to be slowed, though. Does get the double root.
Get out.
They're gonna keep running, but this turret, it's so low health. I don't think it's gonna provide that much protection for them. Get another double root right there coming out from Jeff God. They're able to finally get pushed away from that mid lane.
Back.
They do have a little bit. Oh, the hook from Brian Sang is just short.
It stops the backs though. The Winions are pushing onto the Nexus turrets.
This is true. The Winions are pushing. The Winions are doing their job. The Seraphine extended ultimate does find a target. Now we're starting to see them just kind of be like, look, we just gotta stall. Just gotta stall. Keep them from back. You get the shutdown though on the Jinx. Luru got excited. They're trying to go in to continue this engage. Civillock has returned. Jeff God is being brought down to half health. The damage from the minions though do bring the Nexus turret down to half. Look at this. The fight is still, it's just kind of an extended trade going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I feel like Red could have teleported into that, one of those like 3 blue or those 4. They had 4 wards right there. They could have gotten the flint. They could have forced the issue if they wanted to, but I guess they are afraid Llama is up. Could be a dangerous position for them.
The inhibitor is back too, so that's probably part of the reason why they didn't continue, because they didn't have the super minions left. All right, with that, we have got now 30 minutes into this game, another dragon coming up. It's going to put them on Soul Point, whichever team manages to get this. It's going to be a crucial Drake.
I
going to be back for another 3.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crucial. It's not going to be the game deciding one. I still think the Mountain Drake is more important. If SLR gets the Mountain Drake, they're just going to be so impossibly hard to kill in the time frame that YUBI needs to like win the match. They need to quickly shred through their targets. They need to kill Luru and Llama to really be able to win these fights. But if YUBI gets it, they're not impossible to kill, but I mean they are a big beef comp, like a beef ball comp, and it's going to become much more difficult for the carries to be able to put out that DPS. So we'll have to see which one of them gets it. A minute until it's up. They are jockeying for vision right now.
I feel like YUBI's kind of they've got the vision control set up. You've got Brian saying sitting in a bush, just kind of waiting for anyone to walk out that shouldn't be walking out into that jungle, just so they're aware of it. Then you got Red already positioned to take this Drake, Fang over Fang, pushing in on this bot side.
Wave's in a good position for the side of YUBI.
YUBI has control of the river. They do have majority control, and you got the Drake coming up in 30 seconds. So they could be looking to push a fight right here. I feel like if you're SLR, you force the issue mid. You try and just keep shoving that, and you're like, look, if you want to take the Drake, that's fine. You're not going to take it quick enough for us to actually be able to take the tower.
Yeah, I mean, SLR is a good vision line right now. The jungle's a lot darker for the side of BBZ. I mean, I say YUBI, sorry. I see red, and I immediately think BBZ. But, you know, they are in... Like, I mean, they only have that one ward, but they are in a good position.
I feel like they're just standing in a good spot, so that's the advantage for them.
Looks like we are getting a...
I think we're having some technical difficulties. So we've got a... So unfortunately, we're having a little bit of a spectator. It's over. Yeah, so unfortunately, we're missing the last portion of that game, so it looks like we're going to probably end up jumping right to the victory screen. So give us just a second.
Yeah.
Riot Gap has unfortunately caused us to miss the ending of the game, but it was a YUBI win. My guess is that the very end of the game probably went, they pushed in on Dragon, YUBI was like, hey, they don't see us. All 5-man jumped onto Fang, then 5-man jumped onto Luru, then 5-man jumped onto Pure Llama, then 5-man jumped onto Anti and let Tef just walk around while they went and took the Nexus.
Yeah, I think...
So we are hearing that SLR quad flashed into a Seraphine R, which is unfortunate that we missed that. I am so upset. I am upsetty spaghetti. That is all I can say about that.
That would have been great. Well, unfortunate to see, but I mean, on the bright side at least, with that win, YUBI is now tied with SLR for first place. So that means that we will get to see these two teams play it again in the tiebreaker to decide who is truly first. So that's at least exciting. Hopefully we will be able...
Good news. I believe that it might be possible for us to at least recover the replays. We'll be able to see the end of the game. We just won't be able to see it on cast today. I do believe we're going to go to a quick break, though. and still have a interview. So hopefully we'll be able to get a play-by-play from YUBI as to how that final few minutes played out.
Well, folks, it's not the way that we wanted to bring you this interview, an anticlimactic end for the game, for our viewing experience, but we know the results. We know that we are going to be getting that spicy tiebreaker coming up, not today, played off broadcast, but we will be bringing that to you in some time in the future. Can't speak to when, but it is a day of celebration as YUBI does lock the tiebreaker for first place. So that was the key coming into this game. Where does the tiebreaker end up? And YUBI does decide their fate by getting the first place in this game. Red joining us today. How are you feeling after that barn burner of a win?
I'm feeling pretty good about the win. I'm much more happy that we managed to go 7-0 in the second round robin.
Ooh, that's a juicy stat right there. Let's dive right into the draft then. Interesting things to see all around. They did have yet another Corki showing their face here, with Pure Llama piloting the Corki. We saw Fang on the Trundle, and then the show stealer there of Luru on the Jinx with the Rockets being a thorn in your guys' side. But you folks had a juicy composition yourself. Civillock bringing the Renekton into the mid lane. You have the CEO of NA, Seraphine, being played in the bot side with Blitzcrank. The Brian Sang God Hand coming through, and then of course a tried and true classic, something that both you and Anti have some experience with, the Mordekaiser coming through in your hands. Talk to me a little bit of the plans for you folks on your draft and what you ended up against.
Yeah, so we didn't know who they were playing, and now that Utility Monster has an actual job, he doesn't have as much time to draft, so we didn't get our normal 30 minutes of draft time, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we knew Seraphine was a shared pick between Llama and us, so we just decided to take that away while also banning a couple of his other main champions, and then we just built the battle bus.
Well, I think we got to start the game off with I want to talk to you about the early game, but the earliest of early games was that level 1, the quote unquote handshake of the 5-man death balls, seek and destroy. You folks were on the defense. They were looking for early blood. Talk to me if you would about the comms, the thoughts as you folks got that level 1 strike.
Yeah, so we knew that Fang likes to get a ward on his opponent's topside jungle. So we decided to invade topside. Um, we ended up finding more people than we thought were going to be there, but fortunately, the first Mordekaiser Q hit 3 people, and the passive instantly went off. And the second that happened, I just started telling my team, "We win this fight, and we just pushed into them." Chris? Chris, you good?
I got muted. Sorry, little NA production gap. NA production gap coming
production,
through.
man.
I took a sip of my water and I did not hit the button when I reached for it. My bad. I was gonna say, I got things a little twisted there, but you got me covered there talking about that early level 1 invade, and of course you were the beneficiary of that, and you were able to get, I believe, a solo kill not too long after that in the top side. I'm not sure if Utility Monster was there for that. I think it was solo though.
Well, so what happened was I canceled an auto and I ended up dying when I should have won a 1v1, and then I immediately teleported back, and Utility Monster had a good flank on the no flash, no E Ornn, and I ended up picking that kill, and then it just started going from there. But it definitely started out with me kind of throwing the level 1 lead.
Yeah, it was a calculated throw.
Yeah, it was calculated. I made him worth more gold.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit, if you would, about sort of how this game ended, because there was a little bit of a brief moment there where they were trying to strike back. They got some gold in their pockets. Jeff God Gamer was out there trying to land the ultimates, the Seraphine ultimates. As I understand it, the game ended on a Seraphine ultimate. We'll talk about that in a second. But the one play that I noticed before we were rudely interrupted by Riot was there was a play there towards the end. You folks had the bot side inhibitor broken down. You had the minions pushing in, and you had just come up. You had your TP available, and wards abound behind them. What were the comms like, if you remember this play as you folks were pushing in mid? It must have been a decision on your folks' part to not spend that TP to get behind them.
I'm trying to think of what play you're talking about, but I think we just kind of thought that disengaging was the best course of action. We're at a point where we're really decisive in our fights and the fights that we want to take. So if we didn't commit the TP, then it was likely called that it wasn't needed. But I can't say that I remember that call specifically.
All good, all good. Let's talk about the end of the game, Shrouded in Shadows, that was missed there. Talk to me, if you would, about how this game ended.
Yeah, so the last fight was actually probably 15-30 seconds after the game froze in the replay. So it wasn't like,
yeah,
it was
you guys
that
were setting
far.
up for that dragon fight, and it was double dark on both sides. You guys were waiting to see what happened.
Yeah, so what happened was they pulled the trigger into us and they tried to take the fight with the Ornn ult. And after I realized that both of their carries had Quicksilvers, the only target that was in range for me to ult was Trundle, so I just pulled him in so we couldn't, ult anyone else other than me. And then we're just kind of fighting in the death realm, and then I see the 3 red dots of enemies that are kind of like in perfect range to E. So I time my E to pull immediately as death realm ends, and as it happens, a Seraphine ult comes, hits all 3 of them, or hits 3 people, and I think Luru flashed in, and then my pull pulled 4 people into us, and then it was just me sitting on top of their entire team with passive up, and I think it was 5-0.
Damn. Well, Sunga, catch this little marker there. Let's make sure we get this replay file. Hopefully we can get that footage and some of that sick, nasty videos that we'll be playing for the playoffs. So looking forward to seeing that sick play. Another classic Mordekaiser outing for you, Red. This does, of course, set up the greatest possible tiebreaker, a tiebreaker for first place that will be played off broadcast, and we'll bring to you folks whenever we can. What are your thoughts going into this now that you folks have struck the blood to get that 7-0 on the backside and get this tiebreaker for the end of the season?
I know that we're kind of all not really excited to play a tiebreaker. A lot of us are pretty tired. We've been having a pretty busy time the last couple months, so we were looking forward to break week, and then we realized that we were kind of forced into a tiebreaker whether we won or lost. So, you know, I hope that we do well, we claim first, but we're just happy to have a bye either way, and now we get two break weeks.
Hell yeah. Well, Red, before we step away for the evening, your last opportunity here for any final thoughts, any shout outs, any banter.
Yeah, I know that feeling. You're on red side and your coach just drafts you a tank R4 and then you have to get counterpicked. It's rough. It happened the last time we played to me. I get it, brother. It's not a fun position to be in.
I mean, top lane is a brotherhood. Top lane island, never forgetty. So yeah, I mean that's gonna be it for us, folks. It was a really exciting game for that we got to see. Thank you to the 200 years of experience team over at that small independent game company running in Santa Monica. Thank you to them for every one of these bugs that they put into their game. Hopefully it doesn't impact anything like their international world championships and knock out one of the most hotly contested teams looking to contest for the world championships. You know, these things happen, you know, so we'll be looking forward to seeing the end of this game from VOD. We'll be seeing some highlights because this was a big win for YUBI. We'll be looking forward to seeing how that tiebreaker shakes out for you folks, and congratulations to, I guess, both of our first place teams here, Universal Basic Income and SLR. Remains to be seen who will walk away with the gold medal, but today we have two first place teams thanks to a seismic victory for Universal Basic Income. So, folks, that's going to be it for our final day of regular season Mythic play. We'll be back with you on Thursday for some heroic action, but we have to take a break week. We'll be back with more Mythic action in 2 weeks' time, the start of our playoffs. So we look forward to seeing you then, either for Heroic this week or Mythic in the future. So have a good evening. Thanks to all of our fans, all of our staff that make it possible, and have a good night.